What's going on, guys? In this video I go over MohammedSr4's games from the semis. I do both EU and NAE East. This is cut straight from my Twitch, so if you want to go follow me over there to catch some of these live, that's twitch.tv/Reisshub. I made a post about Mohammed's final games on Twitter and a lot of the comments were pretty hate-filled, so I just want to stay up front that there's no toxicity behind any of this, and I really genuinely made this video because I want to learn how he qualified for the semis. There's a lot of really interesting things that he does that a lot of people aren't doing, and some of them may see them as cheap, but they're genuinely working, so I really want to make a video on it. That being said, there are absolutely some hilarious plays in here as well. Hope you guys enjoy this. I'll catch you guys later. Okay, good thing that Mo was talking about, advantage, disadvantage. I really like that he's committing so much to height. He's already got the advantage on this player, beamed him for like 80 damage, and he is very much so committing to height, starting off the fight. That means this guy's gonna have to play defensive. I'm not gonna lie, that was actually, obviously, it's not a 50-50 because he's hitting for 80 straight away, but like, the timing to break the wall, like, you can run through a wall like that when someone's holding it if you time it perfectly. So I want to see, like, I made a video on this a while ago, but if you break the wall as you're running forward immediately, so sorry, if you break the wall as you're running forward, just basically right as you touch it, you can run straight through this. And I wonder if the AUG made that easier, but the fact that he got the cone in immediately, like, this guy's clueless. Like, look at this from this guy's perspective, right? Yeah, boy, Roo. He can use a shotgun. Indeed, indeed. So it's like, I actually really like this. It was a bit too 50-50 just to run in. Is he playing on console? No, he's playing on PC. So this guy, look, if you're this guy, you're in such a disadvantage. This guy's he's just run through your wall. Quick dead. Especially if you get the cone. That's obviously why placing a cone or a ramp in your box is 100% the way to go. Like, leaving your box open like this with nothing in the floor just gives someone else an opportunity to just completely take advantage of that, like he has. Like that was really clean. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend the majority of people just to run into people's boxes, but like, that was still pretty clean. And he took no damage there and got an easy impact frag. I think that goes up the hill. I'm trying to tell from the map's broken. I think that goes uphill. He has no mobility apart from a pepper. The two plays right now are either go dead side over... no, that's not really a good. It's not really a dead side rotate for this one, actually. It was really looking to reuse a pad here. That's it. He's peppered, which is already a good start. Maybe a little bit early, but trying to grief this guy. I mean, okay. You know what? That works too. I was gonna say he didn't take the. I think that guy had crash pads. He didn't take them. Always looking out for other people's crash pads is super free as well. This is one of the benefits of keeping a higher layer as well, is that when if you have no mobility and you're looking down, it's a bit more difficult from a high layer to get picks, because, in terms of a very high layer, because a lot of the people who have low mats and are scuffed or weak are on the low ground. However, in that particular position, you can, when you're higher up, you can really see a lot of the crash pads that are low down, so it's a lot easier just to kind of drop down and go, okay, boom, bounce, which got him pretty free rotate. Wait, again, mat conservation, not something he does really well. Wasting way too many mats to not go anywhere. So there's 4 floppers at least. Picks up another Elim. Interested to see if it's another SMG Elim. I mean, that was just shambles. That was just complete shambles. How to play East game in solo Crash Cup? I may, yeah. I'm doing the FNCS stuff first, though. Yeah, I'm not really sure how that guy got in his box. I think that guy just crash padded into his box, which ended up being a bit shambles. Oh, he's going for the ramp flip. I mean, in all honesty, his endgame mechanics really are not that good at all. In terms of, like, they're not clean in terms of the tunneling he does. He's wasting so many materials. The amount of times he boxes up. Like, he doesn't need to be doing this with that many mats right now. He's still not even in. Should we ramp? Yeah, okay, at least good. So he's got stair tarping now. This was a nice way to move over here, actually, because he does go towards dead side. I don't know if that was intentional. But he's gone to the side where there's less players, which is really nice. Spray. This is the benefit, well, apart from just aimbotting that guy. When he gets ahead, obviously he's always in the end game. Something you should be doing: getting ahead, looking back, spray. Getting ahead, looking back, spray. A lot of your elims in the end game are just going to be from getting ahead and spraying, right? Oh, okay. Well, not the consistent draw as well. Not a consistent looting path. He's just kind of. Did anyone notice what I just noticed? Notice one thing in his inventory that we have here. There's one particular importance here. Why do you think he places? I think he places because of stuff like this, that he's unpredictable, right? Firstly, he has good aim, definitely. And secondly, look what he's doing right now. He's sitting on a box with a wall open. Most people would, does he get an elim here? He gets an elim, and it's because of stuff like this, where he just gets like these kind of random kills every now and then. Because just people won't expect him to do stuff like this. The guy thinks he's behind the door, and it's like, you know, people look at stuff like this and ask, how does this work against pro players? But it's just because you can't, like, he's hiding behind a brick wall, which you can't see through at all. The other player can't build in here. Just do not expect him to do this. And these little moments where you're surprising your opponents like this are really underrated in Fortnite, because people look at their mechanics and they just think about, oh, I want to have good mechanics and I'll outbuild these people. But like, getting the advantage off in the fight to start with actually helps you so much that, like, it's almost so much better. I don't want to say it's better than being mechanical, that's not true at all. But being able to damage your opponents for like 100 before you even fight, your mechanics don't need to be that complicated after that, because then you're already up by 100 HP. So, like, this is the second time we've seen him do this. This guy is on height, who obviously leaves his top open. He's completely unaware. He's setting himself up at a layer that's near height. And obviously you don't have to just run at him with a P90. However, like, even if you're in this position and you had a shotgun, you hit him with a shotgun and then floor coned and then double edited down, or so you had the piece control on him. Like, that's something that anyone of good mechanical skill would do without just running at him with a P90. But did he just 200-0 him with that? But yeah, like, this is something that is very, very useful to do. Is like, if you're keeping yourself close to high ground like he is here, you can definitely ensure that you're running up. You know, you can sneak up on him like he is. A lot of time they're not even going to hear you place this build, and then just straight 200-0 him like that. Obviously, the 200-0 part's not the ideal strategy. However, like, you know, this is the second time he's creeped up on someone near height, and they had no clue. You can't Mo though. He knows. Actually, like, his movement is really good. Like, his crouch spamming, this is something that's like pretty... Where is he at? Pretty damn important to be doing in these kind of close range fights, especially if someone has, like, has a shotgun. You can miss so many shots just by doing that. If you watch Benji, he does this really, really well. Obviously, Mohammed notices the cone in here. This is looking awfully suspect. Look at his movement. And like, let's watch that from Jack. This is definitely, what's I going to say? Yeah, strays are good. I would prefer him to swing more right, as then he gets a better right-hand peek. Who was the guy he killed there? Let me just go back. Yeah, I'd prefer him to like swing a bit more right rather than going left to right. However, his movement and his crouch spamming is really good in there. And that's something I see quite frequently from him. And clearly, like, opponents don't hit, like, he wins these fights. So clearly his opponents don't hit him as well as he does. Why is this guy... I don't understand why this guy's hiding in a cone when he's actually got great loot and good, like, full mats as well. He's 25. Look at him. Look. This other guy can't hit him because of that absolutely fantastic movement there. That's definitely something you guys should be working on and practicing on. Continue ensuring you can crouch spam, and that it's... The way he does it is really good, and his movement is so good in that close range. That probably wins him a lot of his fights, actually. It's not like... Movement isn't something that's complicated in that situation, right? But you just need to actually think about... Like, think about it in your fights when you're doing it. Just go, okay, I'm going to actually crouch a lot, crouch spam here. I'm going to move to the right. Swinging to the right is a really good idea because their own body blocks you. Because imagine if you're running around... Imagine you're fighting a guy who's running to the right, right? So it's your left. He comes around this way, your body blocks him, so it's easier if you're swinging to the right. This is, again, he's setting up, he's literally baiting this loot. Like, he's leaving it in a corner, hiding behind the door. Okay, it's not worked. But he's gotten trapped in a box now. We know what he's gonna do. Yep. And like, this is again something that he's managed to bait an opponent in here. The guy knew what he was doing, but he got him boxed up because Mo in this room had all of these builds and everything in this area. He got the kill really easily. And another thing that to notice actually was one of the movement, again, another nice movement thing that he did here was, wait, so that wall's reset. He edits through. So you see the opponent has a ramp here. And in order to phase through to get on the other side, to keep spraying him, watch, he moves up the ramp, and then when the opponent turns around and places the wall, Mohammed falls straight through it. Yep. And then he's on the other side of it there. So if your opponent is holding a ramp like that, or if there's a ramp like that and you're really just trying to be a psycho and get in, going up to the top is a good idea. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend that. Notice the angle that he's at here. He's kind of swinging to the right of this, so that when he lands here, the opponent is on, he's got like almost a right-hand peak over his own body, kind of like what we were talking about before. So then it's easy to spray on this guy. Like he's swinging down to the right, the side. If he had been on this side, on the left-hand side here, it would have been really awkward because this ramp would have been in his way and the vision, this wall would have been here. He gets a much better kill on him. So you watch that from Steno's perspective, right? Like, Mo has set up this bait and Steno's not dumb, bro. Like, he comes in here and he's like, there's a big pile of loot in here. There's got to be a guy here somewhere. And he sees him behind the door. Mo's got the wall. Like, at this point, Steno is completely stuck in this area. Like, every build is his. He's so scuffed. I don't know why he really went to break this, but, you know, he gets the ramp over. And look, when Mo drops down, because, like I said, the way he's on the left, and that Steno's now on this horrible angle, look at the visual. Like, he's not peeking at him at all. He can barely get a shot. He doesn't even get a shot off on him at all. That was dumb. Yeah, that was dumb of Steno to go in that 100%. But like the way Mohammed set that up was actually so free for him. He decided to take the God loadout right here. I think at this time he's just trying to go for placement. I mean, obviously not taking a shotgun, but that's bugged. I don't know if that is bugged. It may be bugged because he doesn't have an SMG, but we'll see. I 100% believe that this is actually the loadout that he's taken, so... Is that real? There's actually no way he's taking a green tack over that. I can't be arsed, man. I can't be arsed. Kill in the finals. Yeah. And this is actually what's interesting. Like, obviously he's trying to 50-50 this guy, no doubt, right? He's just trying to 50-50 completely. But one of the things that he did not do in this fight that he did really well in the other was his movement. Okay, so if we go... Slow it down. Right. In this position, he's right under this guy. And ideally, what's going to happen is he drops down, and then he's going to be in the way of his... Yeah, look. See now, because he's fallen down, Mohammed can't see anything. If Mohammed was sitting further back in the box, he would actually still have a better angle on him. And remember what we did last time is he was crouch spamming and he was getting unpredictable movement? This time he's still looking in the sky. And then you can't see because this wall's in the way. It's probably different from his perspective actually, but you can't really see his movement very well in this view. But basically he wasn't crouch spamming and he definitely didn't swing right. He swung really left, which gives the opponent the advantage there. So he didn't do his 50-50 very well at all in that one. In all honesty, I already know what he's about to do here. When a player edits a right-hand peek, you have like nothing in this area. You have basically two options to go. You can either jump round through here and just straight in the box, or you can wait for them to edit it. The wall's going to be weak, and you can just spray through. Obviously, it's not as weak. Oh no, it has. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately, server lag came through that time. But when people do that, if you're a real psycho, you can just spray through the box and straight in because they're not going to have enough. They're not going to be holding the wall at that point, so you can just get in straight away. Now that fight was just lucky in terms of like a mad 50-50 as every fight we've seen so far is. But you can just like, that is a very nice way to actually get into someone's box just by ensuring, and they can't shoot you from there as well. Because you're hiding behind that wall, they have to jump so far out. Again, using a lot of materials to not get much out. He actually dropped the crash pads. All right, I'm gonna. So he's dropped the crash pads, and I'm gonna tell you why he's dropped the crash pads. He's dropped the crash pads because he wants to switch to the grappler and to between his weapons, and because he uses the fact the control scheme where he only presses Y to switch these buttons along once or twice. Yeah, exactly. Aaron said it perfectly. He has to do one less press when he's got crash pads. Obviously, we should never drop them. And this is a horrible strategy because you should never use this control scheme where you're pressing Y so that it goes along every every inventory slot. But that is why he's dropping the crash pads, and that's why he doesn't pick up loads of the parts of his inventory. And this is just a classic strat. We've seen it time and time again. Phased in. Yeah. Mitro goes down. Mitro. Number 1 or 2 earnings player in EU killed by MohammedSr4. Outplayed.